Like, you've still got Stododo, you've still got Just, you've still got Mutiris in there, but now you've got Roman and Story, who've somewhat recently joined this lineup, and still maybe finding their footing a little bit. Good chance here to get a nice little bit of recognition, a nice little bit of spotlight on you, perhaps.
Yeah, always a good chance to get a spotlight on you, Dan. But I think more important than the spotlight here is just qualifying.
Yeah.
I think that's got to be objective number one, right?
For sure, and
how's it going to start then, Dan?
Well, I mean, I would try and let you know how it's about to start, but I think looking at the round, George, I think it's just a clean, almost clean sweep from Saw. They just completely blitzed the pistol round. Super quick kills coming through. And Saw already with the opening frags. An opening round. Nice start for the Portuguese guys.
Lovely. Mutiris, the man in connector, gets it all done. 3 frags for him in quick succession. Good start. Everybody happy on the Saw side. Portuguese fans in the chat going to be ranting and raving about that one for quite some time, I'd imagine, as Endpoint now decide that it's going to be time to hit the pistols. Exactly what they go for. Into the pistol round they fall. And, well, Desert Eagles have always looked a bit good, especially lately, but they've got that added advantage, Dan. They've got the best weapon in the game on their team. Do you know what that is?
The Tech 9.
It is the Tech 9. Interestingly enough...
Do I win prize for that?
Yeah, no, you don't. You get to explain to people why Calf is actually Boros.
Yeah, because he's been a naughty, naughty boy, and he's not coming out.
Yeah.
I
don't know if there's anybody at the production staff who can hear me, but they just need to do the cleanse player name, sanitize player names thing, but they'll all be sorted. But either way, for the time being, Calf, or Boros, is not going to make an impact on this round because Mutiris, once again, 2 rounds gone, Dan, 7 frags.
He's loving life early on. The Endpoint force by there doesn't really come to fruition. And now they're just beyond that, those low buy pistols. I mean, a few, well, a Deagle, a Tech 9, a few Glocks, no armor board up. This should be Saw able to mass a little bit of extra cash here. And if they don't, they'll be a little bit upset about that one, I think. But I think anything more than like a kill or 2 from this round is going to be a little bit disappointing for Saw. You really want to be trying to just keep this sort of rolling, keep 4 or 5 players alive, and just stack up cash behind you so you can go into that next round with a bit of a bonus for a pie, and then if you need to, you can reacquire the weapons afterwards.
Maybe in for a slight bit of bother here if my dog decides it's time to go and have a bark outside, because
woof, woof.
I think you might be able to hear him if he does. Maybe. I don't know if you can hear him right now. Anyways, having a bit of a bark. Maybe he's too getting excited about the fact that Saw are having a really good time with things here in these first 3 rounds. Already up to a 4 versus 2 advantage as that quick frag comes in from Just. It's going to make it 1 better. In fact, they're all going to finish the job. Gosh darn, people switching to USPs and finding frags with them. Who knew that would be such an effective strategy? And Saw, as a result, up to the 3-0 start they were looking for. Endpoint now, with all the beans still to play with, Dan. They've got the rifles up. This is going to be their first real time of doing so. And even the AWP for Crucial, by the way. What a good time to be alive when you've got your Endpoint boys all on the weapons they'd like to be harboring. Now it's time to show us what you're made of, at least in this instance, because Saw don't have an AWP of their own just yet. Roman and Mutiris are going to be using FAMASs. Oh, sorry, they do have an AWP. I missed that completely. Story's got that one nice and tucked away. But yes, like I'm saying, Mutiris and Roman don't have real weaponry as such. FAMASs are not ideal. And so, whilst it's not necessarily a bonus round, it's still a weaker approach here from Saw than what Endpoint are bringing to the table. So you've got to imagine these AKs and the AWP combination should be well positioned to do something here on Endpoint's map pit. One thing we're used to seeing here on Overpass as well is, on the T side at least from Endpoint, is Thomas basically catching everything going over towards B until the later portions of the round, until Boros and Surreal have both been tagged up and fragged up now by Just and Story. 1 frag apiece. Surely going to find more here with Roman, but Mighty Max, ready and waiting, brings the odds ever so slightly back. The scales tipping every now and again. And now Endpoint having a few chances here to just slow the pace down, but Dan, 40 seconds remaining, needing to make a move and still hemorrhaging players.
It's going to be up to just Max and Crucial. Obviously, Crucial still with that AWP could find something to work with, but 27 seconds. The chances of that coming through are going to be getting slimmer and slimmer. Mighty Max creeping in towards this site. Story's going to be posted up looking towards Long, but as Mighty Max lets down a little bit of utility in towards this site, there is 3 players ready to defend, and I think Muterius is surely going to have their number. 10 seconds on the clock. He gets the first. That's a round done, unless Crucial. Nice little first shot there. He gets a second. 4 seconds. Can't get the bomb plant in time, and Stododo just going to win the round by staying alive. And Saw find a 4. They make the bit of the, I guess you could call it a bonus in some ways with those 2 pharmacies. They make it work, and they will have just enough cash for a rebuy. Getting that AWP up again is a huge factor.
Yes, it is. The AWP being a factor. I mean, Crucial has had... sometimes I'm not sure whether I should be critical of Crucial or whether I should be praising him. Often he has games where he can absolutely take over the map. Sometimes he has games where he's surprisingly absent. Thankfully, more often than not, he is taking over, which makes him a fine addition to this Endpoint roster. But, I don't know, you just got to have one of those games. If you're going to put all the weight onto Crucial by purchasing up that AWP, sacrificing AKs for Surreal and Thomas, you're going to keep that AWP as a priority. I think you need to at least expect some results from it. At the moment, Endpoint here are going to be on their last legs for this moment in time at the very least.
Obviously, Crucial carrying that AWP through from the last round. Hoping to at least make a little bit of a mark. Story with his AWP, though, is posted up watching towards Banana, and Crucial might just slide on into the crosshair, but it's going to be Surreal who takes the first fight, and actually a little double peek. Crucial actually comes up with the frag. Boros secures one as well onto Roman. So now as the Endpoint side try and swarm this side, it's going to be left to Muterius the line, and he gets a first but can't do more. It's now up towards Endpoint, but actually they're just going to go aggressive to Sword side. Just is all that remains, but he's doing his best, and a quick kill on towards Boros drops the bomb inside of the site. And Crucial now, 1v1, has to get this up into a position that he can find this frag. He's scoped up, unscoped at just the wrong time, but he still gets it! A hop and a scotch, and it's Crucial with a little bit of a lucky draw there, perhaps.
I don't believe it. How he is allowed to get that shot up after completely bottling it by putting the weapon away. Good God, only heaven knows. Someone up there is looking over Crucial today as he manages to get away with a blinder. Really shouldn't be allowed to get away with a round in that kind of position. That's poor in many ways from the player he was up against, but sometimes that's just the nature of the beast. A hop, skip, and a jump, and you can evade a good few bullets. But right now, it's going to be back to basics for Saw. The CT economy is a lot harder to get up off the ground, and as a result, Story, Roman, and the rest of the gang all going to be sporting pistols. Thankfully, they are all coming into this round with armor of sorts, so that means they have at least got some resistance to Thomas's Mac 10 that's going to be trying to run them down. But will that resistance be short-lived? Well, one hopes not.
Woof woof indeed.
Yeah, I'm going to close the window. Just 2 seconds.
Oh. Thomas yet to find a frag. Hoping the Mac 10 can deliver, as Boros is going to be creeping up through Banana right now. Half in the name, but Boros definitely in the game. He looks to find himself a 5th, but will just have to back away. Doesn't want to get caught out. Mighty Max, though, is the first to find a frag, and it's Stododo to feel the brunt of that one. Boros finds one as well. Story is the victim for him, as they're going to look towards his A site now as their final point of attack. Roman's already bailed out. He's already rotated down towards that B site. And unfortunately for him, that's going to leave Thor in a very difficult difficult, sticky wicket where they might get caught by Thomas, who, with this Mac 10, is just hoping to farm a little bit of cash. Here, long range, gets the first, but can't quite control the spray for a second. And I'm sure Mutiris will be very, very happy to have a Mac 10 recovered. I'm sure that's exactly what he wanted. Gee, thanks, Santa.
Yeah, when I sit down and ask Santa what I want for Christmas, it's always a Mac 10. And he goes, George, do you not think maybe that's not a good idea? And I think, why, Santa? Why could having a Mac 10 not be a great idea? He said, well, because it's a firearm and they're illegal in the UK. And I say to him, you know what, Santa, I don't really care. I want it for my Counter-Strike games. And he goes, I respect your wishes. And then the elves go and make it, because honestly, the whole story of Santa Claus, do you not find it a bit strange, by the way, that there are just some random, like, enslaved race of people that are elves, that are small and, like, have pointy ears and pointy toes, that just make presents all year round?
They could definitely overthrow Santa in, like, a 20 versus 1, like.
Industrial strike action would literally put Christmas on hold. Just think about how much power these elves have. And whether, like, I don't know whether they're just being kept there out of fear. Maybe Santa has got some, like, absolutely godlike powers that they're just so fearsome of. Like, they can't go on strike because they're not being paid. So if they have to revolt, is their only option, right?
Yeah.
And technically, like, the UN doesn't care either because they don't fall under human rights because they're not technically human. Yeah.
Or even recognized as being real.
Yeah. Santa's got it. He's pulling off the greatest conspiracy in the history of the world.
Oh. If there are any elves watching this, please reach out. Me and George will try and fight for your rights.
Santa's actually a cruel dictator. Pass it on.
Yeah. This is going to be a unicorn round, George.
It might well be. For those of you uninitiated into what a unicorn round is, they're so rare. You don't get to see them too often. That's why they're called like unicorn rounds. Just like elves.
An elf round.
An elf round, a mythical creature round of any description. 5 players survive the round from either side. You don't see this very often, and there'll still be a chance that we still might not see it. It's still to come yet. I think everybody is going to survive, though, weirdly enough. It is a unicorn round, Dan.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting one. Don't think that's ever happened before. Put that one in the record books. Definitely has happened. Definitely has happened. Just interesting to see, you know. Obviously, just with a pistol, sworders don't want to give up money towards that endpoint side. They don't want to give them over, potentially Mac 10 kills, or even just kills in general.
Oh yes, hold on a minute. You saw that as well, didn't you? The 4-man boost is up. Keep working up the ladder, Observer / GoTV Auto Director. I want to see Crucial at the top. He hasn't found anything. It's been a bit of a disaster. In fact, Saw have found Thomas, and that's not going to be the best way to go. I just love Crucial. Just take a pot shot wallbang there, by the way. That would just be my favourite thing. Every time I see an AWPer scoping over like an X-rayed player in GoTV, I always think, man, just take the shot.
Yeah.
Obviously, they have no idea, and it would be a really strange place to take a shot, but, you know. Also, Dan, I realised that for Endpoint, by the way, they are continuing the long-running tradition. Do you know what that is?
Yeah?
Not winning pistol rounds.
True, very true. Mighty Max, though. Gonna make up for an opening kill found already by Sododo by trading him out, given the 4-on-4 back in place. And just to note as well, this is the Endpoint map pick. So you really want to be seeing Endpoint picking this map up so they can go into the second map of Saw's pick with a decent chance. But Mighty Max Crucial posting up frags, Boris chiming in as well. It's all onto Story, who Glass Cannon Orb does take out Boris and bring things into a 1v2, but I don't think he's really fancying too many chances in this one. Crucial just misses the chance as the smoke fades, but I think he's still going to keep on watching as Story is able to get away.
Just gallops away. That's all he's got to do. A careful canter up the long position, and he is home dry. I've got to say, it's started to go a little bit wrong for Saw ever since Mutiris has started slowing down. The first 4 rounds were basically granted because he was on an absolute rampage, but since then, the frags have been a little more lethargic from the Saw side. Maybe they just need something to reinvigorate themselves. 3 frags inside of this one, though, is not bad by any means, but we have leveled the scores here now. Endpoint getting 4 rounds in a row. 4 of those rounds all being kind of semi-gun rounds as well, which is really, really good for Endpoint. It's showing us that in this T-half on their map pick, they have, well, they have some gore. They have some real bite to their bark. They're not just talking up a big game by picking Overpass, they're actually backing it up as well here. Even without Mezzy, it's still Endpoint's map pick. And yeah, I'm impressed. The T-side's going well for them. The gun rounds have been good so far. Now it's just time to see whether Saw are able to formulate a response. Unfortunately, I don't feel like the response will be coming in this round with the buy that Saw have been able to offer up here. As Dodo, Just, Mutiris, and Roman are all onto the pistols with no armor. It is just going to be Just for the armor. Story has not even gotten more armor for himself on that AWP. It's a good trade frag, but in the end, it's all one-way traffic. Endpoint just cleaning house, and Mutiris, after an absolute load of, like a Monty Python sketch, just chaos inside the site, it all goes one way. Endpoint.
Mighty Max, judge, jury, executioner, taking his teammate out of action there. Wasn't satisfied with the push. Not one step back, he shouts. And Endpoint find a 5th.
Now, Dan, I've got a question for you.
Go on.
When you see the word calf, do you think of the leg or do you think of the baby cow?
I think of the baby cow.
Really?
Yeah, and I think that's mostly because Boris is a young little calf himself, isn't he?
Oh, that's quite reflective, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe calves aren't quite so toxic in that. I will say, I rate the calf quite highly in like top 5 body parts. You know, I think it is like second to the bicep in Sigma maleness. Yeah. I think the calf is like the
some shorts.
Calf is like the alpha body part if you have like good calves, if you're a gym lad. But no, the bicep is the Sigma. That is the be-all and end-all body part. That could have been the be-all and end-all of shots on long, but unfortunately Story does just whiff ever so slightly. It's a very difficult shot to make anyway, so he can be absolutely forgiven for that. But at the very least, that is a huge amount of information garnered for Saw here now. They already know that there's pressure being exerted on towards the bathrooms. They've heard smokes and various assortments of utility being expended over to that position for the majority of the round so far. And now having spotted Mighty Max out to that position, I think it gives them all the information they need to make a decision on what to do. They're going to keep 2 players over here towards the B site whilst re-aggressively in the bathroom. Unfortunately, the problem is that the B site's under siege. Just has got a lot to do from this barrel's position. So far, he's coped brilliantly. Story and Stadodo both helping him out, leaving Crucial to wonder, where did everyone just go? They've been Thanos snapped off the server, my man. Saw will get themselves the gun round. They'll get themselves their 5th. And they'll level the scores up themselves. The Portuguese side not going to roll over that easily.
They don't feel so good, I think is what I'm supposed to say at that point, George. After being Thanos snapped, they don't feel so good.
Very true.
Yeah, but Endpoint have enough economy for the rebuy, and that's not too much of an issue. And they've still got a little bit of cash in reserve as well. You can see Crucial at almost $7,000. He's just been farming his investments. Put it in the savings account. Getting that 6.5% interest every round. And that Story with the orb. Oh, that could have been a great second shot. Unfortunately, traded out. Trades are very good for the Endpoint side. Actually, they get the advantage off the back of that, in fact. Surreal and Mighty Max bringing up the rear, but they bring up the frags.
I feel like that was a needlessly over-aggressive play from Saw. Yeah, sure, commit 1 player with the AWP up towards the picnic area, and maybe have 1 player long to bail him out. Have the other player at least, the 3rd player in that triad, hanging back towards bathroom so they can give a safe path for the AWPer to get back into, not up on picnic with him. Just feels like a really desperate attempt to try and trade away a situation gone wrong, and as a result, you give away the advantage, you give away the A site, and now you're pretty much as good as give away the round. Whilst you have got 2 kits here for Justin Mutiris, they are far removed from the situation. They're going to take some time to decide whether they actually want to go for it or hit a flank and wait for one another. Mutiris is actually already on the flank. He's going all the way up long, leaving Just to then be the single prong to this assault from the other side. There's going to be a player up here on the long position. No, and Surreal nicely positions himself to shut down the round. It is Just remaining. And it seems there will be no justice in the world for Just, because whilst he's played well so far into this game, he will not be winning this round for my money. Does look to stick the plant, but Surreal has got the lineup already sorted long before, and that will grant Endpoint their 6th. Brilliant work from the British side.
I think if you're Endpoint, you're looking to try and find 7 or 8 rounds in this first half. Obviously, Overpass, I still think it's slightly CT-sided Overpass. You sort of would generally see like 8 or 9 rounds, I think, sort of is pretty common for the CT side. And so if you're Endpoint, getting like 7, 8 on your T side, it's just going to be nice, especially considering it's your map picks. It just gives you a little bit of an extra oomph to that CT side, so you have the ability to maybe make a couple mistakes if Saw brings something you're not sort of ready for. Because obviously Endpoint maybe not having the most data to work with for Saw on this map, not played it all too much of Saw. So for Endpoint, I'll be wanting to figure things out, but a 1-for-1. Crucial avenges his teammate, the young little Boros. Calf. Not the leg, though. The baby animal.
Yeah, the baby animal. Definitely the case.
As Mighty Max is just going to sit with that bomb towards B short right now. Has Crucial, who's going to be looking in towards the site for an opening and could potentially find the player around the pillar. Instead, it's Mutiris who walks into the crosshair, and now Crucial in a bit of an awkward position. Story's going to be watching the angle, actually backs away from it to look towards Monster, and now he's just completely blinded in the sight. He's going to be joining his brother in arms towards the back of the site. Dodo, who's left with just a single point of HP. Story's been dealt with, and now Dodo just... Oh, Dodo, oh, this is brilliant. He's not going to fire off. He's going to get as much intel as he can. Knows he's the player towards the back of the site and the player who's planted the bomb. And he'll take down Crucial. That allows his teammate to push in. And now they've got a 2-for-2.
Yeah, that's the only problem I foresee, Dan. And it's already come to pass. Right on key. Dodo taken down. HG grenade, further follow-up onto Roman, leaving him on 45. He's going to take that AWP and get gone. He's out of here. Endpoint get away with another round again. It looked like it was going to be really good for Dodo, but the play really comes down to the fact, I think it was Surreal who was the bomb planter there. He ends up going through the smoke, over the top, and back into water on the other side, which makes it so Dodo can't actually go ahead and get the 2-for-1. He only finds Crucial on the AWP. So I suppose, more than anything there, that kind of a round is just split by the finest of margins, by Surreal going over the other side. But here it is, a timeout called. Not sure what the nature of this timeout is. It just says match pause, which probably means it's technical more than anything else. Hopefully it's not too severe of an issue and we can get back moving sometime soon. But, oh, dear damn. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do here for Saw. Their money is going to be a little bit weird in this round here. Do you force buy around the AWP, or do you take the passive approach?
Ooh. You've got 2 more rounds after this one. I think you take the force here. Eco next, and full buy in the final round.
Okay.
But I think you can swing it either way.
I counter with... buy down to about $2,000, purchase next round, and then force out in the last, where there are no repercussions for your forcing.
Yeah. I think you need a Saw to get a couple more rounds here. You can't allow Endpoint to keep racking them up at this point, though. I think you need to be a little bit more aggressive and try and punish Endpoint while their economy's still a little bit unstable. But, as I say, I don't think there's really a correct answer. I think the way they've gone, your option is still the safer of the two. I think that's probably the better option, perhaps. certainly less risky. So I'll have the MP9, a couple Deagles, obviously Roman with that AWP as we mentioned, but down by 2 Saw. Need to try and pick up at least a couple more at the end of this half. Otherwise they're going to be in for a very, very tough second half as Endpoint just slowly clearing out space around this B site. They will take control of the B short position. It looks like they're going to go for a boost with Boris up on top. He does get the kill onto Just.
Easy peasy. Well, at least it looks that way. Carve, aka Boris, gets himself his 9th frag of the game, looking to try and now add to that tally as his team execute into the B site. Misplaced Molotov, some would think. Maybe that's going to try and flush a player into the scope of Thomas, who unfortunately has a scope of his own. It's Roman with the AWP and finds himself a open frag. That's going to be a pretty short queue to rotate now up towards the A site, but they have been spotted in their transition up there, and a parting gift from Roman as he tries to fire through onto Crucial. The only problem here for the rotating CT side is that Surreal is already in bank, and Surreal's already found Mutiris. Make it one better as he finds Story. It's just Roman to give the trade frag back, but even he is no match for Mighty Max as he stands on top of Dice and finds him with a quick headshot. Dan, just as a quick one for you, what do you think about Saw having a convention? And what would they call it if they did, Dan?
What? A convention
Saw.
like...
Yeah, like Comic-Con or
TwitchCon.
something. Yeah. It'd be called SawCon, wouldn't it? SawCon D's nuts. Oh, I've dissolved the rounds. Take a minute. Take a minute. I'll carry it. Good lord. I just came into my head. I had to go with it. Thankfully, Saw are not going to be doing that. I can just hear Dan laughing, buckling me. Oh, dearie me. Whew. Wipe the tears from your eyes. You are seeing this. It is Endpoint with the 8th round, of course. They are going to try and make a long play. Story actually missing the first shot of the round and finding himself in a bit of a sticky spot now as he is over pitched in from both sides. It's all on Roman to keep them alive, and he's done excellently. Unfortunately, he's not been able to protect Story, but he may still be okay here to try and find a 3k out of this. The smoke dissipates. Boros will be flashbanged by Dodo, and somehow Roman has completed the great escape. Call him Steve McQueen, because he is out of there. As now into the B site they go. Thomas really having the best of games here, to be honest. That's not the best of HE grenades, nor the best of frags. This just takes him down. It should be a 6th.
Don't want to...
The porch.
Sorry, I don't want to interject too much, but I mean that HE, if he hits it, just is on 46 right now. That probably would have killed him.
It would have. I actually think it might. If he wouldn't have had time to react. You are quite right. Crucial. What does he do here? I think he just saves the AWP.
Yeah. I mean, you got Surreal and Thomas with like $1,500 a piece.
Counter-terrorists win.
Yeah. You save this, Crucial can drop over a couple. Boris and Max can buy. You're in a solid position to try and secure a 9th at the end of this half. But I think already Endpoint will be pretty happy with 8 on the board. Also, what is it with British CS teams and playing Overpass, man?
Well, name another British CS team that plays Overpass.
Fnatic right now.
Are they technically British CS?
They are
2/3 Swedish. They're like 2/3 English.
They've got
or whatever, I don't know.
2 British players and a British coach.
But they're like half British, half Swedish.
Yeah.
Well, it's Mezzi Pass, isn't it? You got Mezzi,
Yeah.
you might as well play Overpass.
True. But I mean, Alex did it in Cloud9 as well, when there was like Alex and Mezzi there. And Henry G was
Mezzi
the
again?
GM.
I see only one focus here, and it's Mezzi, you know?
True. But I mean, Endpoint are playing it now and they don't have Mezzi.
No, but they did.
What?
His spirit lives on.
What?
No! Oh, good lord, no!
Oh, that is the worst way to start out this last round of the half.
Oh, God.
Endpoint get away with murder, you could say. Although, there wasn't much of that happening.
God. Gosh. Good golly. I don't know what to think anymore.
5 on 4. Just is able to at least finish off what Roman started. So Dodo with 1 as well. It's looking like Saw might still have a story to tell in this round with the 3-on-3 acquired. Boris is half HP. Crucial's at 7 HP. Obviously still has an AWP and is looking for damage. Gets a little bit more than damage. Story out of action. Push through the smoke close to Dodo. He's been able to deny the plant. Boris is taken down, and now Thomas is left with 6 HP as well. They have a combined 13 HP, George. A brief gust of wind could be enough to knock them over and secure the round for Saw. Muteris is going to try and push in, and now left alone as his teammate goes down. Thomas will secure it. And it is Endpoint with the lead for half-time. We're going to head to a short break. When we come back, we'll see if Saw can bounce back.
Welcome back, everybody, to Endpoint versus Saw. We are in map 1 of this enthralling best of 3 so far. We've had a few twists and turns. We've had some missed shots, some missed nades. I don't know what's going to be missed next, Dan, but maybe it's my sanity. There's Endpoint are 9-6 up at the half-time. Pistol round time as they transition to the CT side.
Yeah, generally the better sort of side for most teams when you play Overpass, but see what Endpoint are able to bring to the table, and more importantly, what Saw are able to bring to the table on this map. It obviously isn't their map pick, so maybe their T side is going to be lacking a little bit. which doesn't bode well when you're down by 3 already. Plenty of utility for the Endpoint side. Mighty Max with most of it. A couple nades to be found as well as Saw. They're going to unleash their utility in towards this A site. And Boros just backs away. No longer is he a calf, he's now a beautiful cow.
Yeah,
Holy
he's
crow.
matured. He's matured. Cows don't disrespect people in MM.
No?
Or maybe he's so good at... Maybe it's not the top for us. Maybe he's actually just so good at the game people think he's cheating and therefore report him. Either way, it doesn't matter because inside of the site, Mighty Max is a booming and leaving it just up to Story. And unfortunately, with the bomb planted a little bit on the wrong side of the site for Saw's Story, he's going to be walking away. So, Endpoint pick up a much-needed pistol. Now, let's see if the curse can be upheld. Will Endpoint convert the pistol round, Dan? Hold on to your seats, because if it does, the Twitch chat, and more specifically the Endpoint management staff, might have to realise their team can succeed in pistols. It's a shocking realisation, I know.
I mean, I don't want to believe it, George. I don't think it's true.
I think it completely decimates my worldview.
Yeah, for sure.
I have
What's
to
real, what
rethink
isn't?
everything I know.
Santa elves. Get them
Yeah.
out of... Get them out. Save them.
No, I reckon the Endpoint not winning pistol rounds, it's all Santa's fault.
Yeah, obviously. I'm wondering if this is maybe... No, actually, I think we're looking alright. I was worried for a moment that it looked like maybe we were going to be heading into a round restart there. A couple players, knives out, looking at walls and such. But I think we're still underway.
Fingers
Which is
crossed,
good.
at the very least.
Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're still chugging on through. It's Endpoint with what you'd usually call an advantage after winning that pistol round, but with the bomb plant going down, you can see there's the AK-4 Mutiris, a Galil Roman, and it's up to Crucial's MP7 to try and get the job done. He can't, Surreal makes up with it for a couple himself. But again, Saw have found themselves a 3-on-3 here, and entry in towards that A site, but actually they'll just back away. They're not going to overextend. Because Mighty Max has gotten himself into a pretty solid position. Never mind. Story has just ruined his life. Now it's all up towards Boros, so 1 versus 3 misses just the timing on the player over towards Truck. He's going to be able to find the Dodo, but that scout shot makes life very difficult for him. It forces Mutiris into the fight, though, that Molly. And now 1v1, he knows the Dodo. Oh, he knows Story was towards short, and he'll get it done. 11 on the board for Endpoint, and it's all thanks to the young gun Boros.
That's why you've brought him onto the team. That's why Boros is here. It nearly isn't the case that Endpoint can convert the pistol by the skin of their teeth by 7 HP. Boros is able to pull off a spellbinding 1 versus 3. Endpoint get their much-needed second round. Unfortunately, though, with it going down to 1 versus 1, and with there being a bomb plant for Saw think, yeah, alright then. We'll try that again. We'll do a salty run it back. We've got the money to buy. We know that Endpoint's economy is going to be fragile. We potentially can have a chance here at shattering the pain. But now Endpoint have got to stand resolute. They've got to do something a bit more exciting than what they did in the previous round. Something a little bit more definitive. This time they are sporting the AK, of course, on Boros, which is helpful none wiser, as Crucial's got the M4 too. Of course, we are still sporting 2 MP9s here for the Endpoint side. Meanwhile, we're also seeing Saw has got Galils and AKs. They're all on the rifles. So the range advantage could prove to be a factor, but play up close and personal. There's no reason why these MP9s can't find big frags, can't find some early advantages as well and steal away one of these big weapons, one of these AKs on Stododo or Mutiris. That would be absolutely ideal for Endpoint. Again, the same can be said for Saw. If they can just pick off one of these 2 players with the M4 or the AK-47, and there too are going to be putting themselves in a very good spot. Boros standing guard at the moment, Dan. He's going to have a lot of weight on his shoulders in a moment. In comes the hit. It's a strange contact play. Where's the utility? Strange.
There isn't any. Story is a single smoke, that's all. Well, it's actually working out. Okay. A bit of a readjustment from the Saw side. repush, a regression through short. Catches the Endpoint side a little unawares, and now it's up to Surreal and Crucial to try and get this done with the man disadvantage. They have rifles, but so does Saw, and they also have positioning on their side. Maybe they'll be seeing Saw comes to Endpoint relatively soon, but that's a peak that could have won it from Roman. Doesn't actually work out, and actually he goes down in the end. Surreal gets that kill. Story's going to go for the aggressive peak this time, and it does pan out for him. Leaves Crucial alone in a 1 versus 2, and without time with the kit, though, it's just not enough. He's left just to try and find whatever he can, and unfortunately, it's Muteris who's ready to take the fight. Saw find a 7th after a couple Force Spies go their way.
And they finally break him down, Dan. Took a lot. Didn't really take a long time, but it took a lot of effort to break them down. Round after the pistol was a little bit shaky, and therefore that left Endpoint vulnerable to attack. Now they find themselves buying up the Force by the Eagles, P250s, the CZs. Still not seeing any 5.7s, which is upsetting to my eyes, but I think I can forgive it just this once. The Saw are going to be sporting the 5 AK setup. One of those gladly donated back over to them by Boros in the previous round. They'll have purchased up the remainder. The Saw are going to be very, very happy with the current state of the game, especially now knowing that they're not going to be up against a great deal of resistance for not just this round, but the next if they're able to win it. Put them nearly level terms, just 2 rounds shy of that. And all it takes is just 1 more gun round win, and you're back on level. That's how quickly a game of Counter-Strike can swing. Such a delicate little bird held in your hands. You have the power to give it flight or a far crueler fate. So for Endpoint, they're looking to nurture theirs and get it to spread its wings and sail them to victory. For the time being, they're going to have to just try and keep it warm for now. Safe. Don't give up too much. Try and do what you can in a round like this as the hit is now starting to come in towards the A site. Down as Dodo has already found Crucial.
Yeah, that's probably the first of many for this Saw side. I mean, Endpoint, they have a pretty decent stack towards this side. Oh, Surreal. Calm it down, son. Boros in with 1 as well, and this is starting to go wrong. This is going very, very wrong. It's only Muteris remaining. A cacophony of failure for Saw in this round, and now a 1 versus 2 to try and make up for it with 10 HP and already 2 kills in the round. It's not going to be enough. Mighty Max will shut it down. An Endpoint fight back for a 12th on the board and a 5-round advantage. Feels like Saw just aren't able to overcome it.
What a strange round that was. Saw looked like they had all the advantages moving into it. They had the Molotovs and the smokes littering the site. They had so much space to try and play with. But the thing is, when you do an execute onto a site that is as enclosed as the B site can be, and the A site can be as well. I think Overpass is just a bit of a weird map for this kind of play. One thing it leaves you really open to, of course, is just getting bombed on out. No, these Tech 9s, these Deagles, these CZs, they all thrive in close quarters combat. We're seeing that again. As they close the timing window by running through the Molotov, many would think that's a bit of a dangerous idea. But it is more than working out here, because Crucial's under pressure as a team kill from Roman. Admittedly, it's just not a good game for him all round, but he has been able to get the AK, so potentially there is redemption at hand here for Roman. There's also an M4 picked up for Stododo. Who'd have thought that 5 Glocks running through Molotovs as they did at the beginning of the round would result in a 3-on-3 in such a stark manner? But Saw have the bomb, they have 2 rifles, and they have time to rotate to B.
Man, the HP, it's just hurts. It gives Saw so little chance to win this round. It's so many chances for Endpoint just to cut down a couple of players super early here. Mighty Max, there you go, just spamming through the smoke, gets 1 and a 2nd, and that's the high HP of Roman laid to waste as well. Now just Story alone, and Mighty Max with the FAMAS. Doesn't feel like giving up all too much.
Lovely stuff. Beautiful stuff, as a matter of fact. Endpoint keeping it rolling, making sure that well, actually, I say it's beautiful stuff. Thinking back just about 30 seconds before, when we thought that should have been an easy round for them, considering as it was 5 Glocks. So maybe not so beautiful in the end. Maybe it was tiny bit harder than they'd made allocations for. They now find themselves in another straight bout. It's a gun round. Guns on guns. Who doesn't love a bit of gun on gun? Dan, bit of gun on gun action.
It's my favourite thing.
Really gets me going, I'll tell you that much. I wake up in the morning, I go to bed at night, and I'm thinking about gun on gun. I'm not thinking about HE grenade on Boros, though. That is quite the opposite. That's not quite nearly as sexy as a prospect. There's now Boros taken down, leaving it in a 4-on-5. He hasn't even seen anybody yet, but at least there's plenty of spamming going on inside of Water. That leaves a lot of information available to the Endpoint side about the location of at least 2 of these players, because they have heard 2 separate shots. And Saw, as a result, are just going to try and use this opportunity. How was that frag found? Is it through the corner of the wall, or is it actually an outright wall bang? I'm confused, but even still, Mighty Max has absolutely no care for it. He rolls on in with the assistance of Thomas. Unfortunately, they both get laid to West by Just, and now Surreal is there on the trade frag. It is going to be a 2 versus 2 here, though. Very important 2 versus 2 for Saw, because without this, they're going to be spiraling rapidly out of control, and this game may slip by the wayside for them. Whilst it isn't their map pick, they still want to be putting up a pretty considerable fight. Want to try and take it as fast as they can. 2-0 is the best outcome, and here, Story and Surreal, who catches the right angle, and better yet, Dan, that's the bomb.
That is the bomb. And Roman, there's no chance of winning this one out, even if you were able to get to this bomb, which Surreal's going to let you do. You have to get back into a bomb site, and with 11 seconds on the clock to do so, he's just going to have to hightail it towards B. Crucial's going to have this one easy. He'll let him into the site, take him down as he tries to go forward. There you go. 14-7, and obviously this is the Endpoint map pick. It's sort of what we expected on Overpass, and I'm looking forward to the second map that's going to be coming through, which is obviously going to be Vertigo. That will be the Saw map pick, and maybe we can see them bounce back there. I think Endpoint's still pretty confident, though, on Vertigo, and can probably put up a pretty strong fight. So it's not going to be easy for Saw. But I'm hoping it's going to be a little bit easier than it is on Overpass here.
One thing that I think is quite a stark contrast, by the way, I just wanted to highlight this, is Roman and Story have 14 kills combined, which is less than the next best person on their team.
Wait,
no!
Stella!
What? Wait, you did not just Molotov yourself. Boros! What? You got a death wish?
Oh. Get Borost.
Crucial might yet still win this.
He might still, yeah. I mean, takes down the high HP player, Story with 12 HP, just with 16. I mean, the problem is it's just the positions for them. They're in great positions just to deny this round, and that nade, it doesn't go anywhere near one of these players, and if it did, it could have won him the round, but a great first shot. Okay, Crucial has a kit. He's trying to hunt for this final player, and he's going to just drop a smoke on the bomb and try and hold the defuse. Oh, I don't think he has time for the defuse, though. If he does, that is magnificent, and it's going to be so close, but he doesn't quite have it. Saw by the skin of, I don't know, I would say your teeth, but your teeth are pretty thick. They get the 8.
Jesus Christ. Holy moly macaroni. What a absolute disaster of a round from both parties. It all starts with Boros Molotoving himself at the barrels, and then from that point forward, the round just unfolds. In fact, it does not unfold, it explodes like somebody's just opened Pandora's box and released that absolute hellscape upon the world. Thankfully, that round is now over. We don't have to worry about it anymore. That blight in our minds is gone. But Boros is not ready to let sleeping dogs lie just yet, as he finds the first frag with the Eagle. Is instantaneously traded. Thomas, that seems a bit bold. He taps and tries to get the attention of some of these remaining T players who are actually just going to abscond. They want nothing to do with him.
Hello, AK.
They're going to go back towards that B site.
It's real. Has a little Gleal for action now. The nade that was thrown actually yeeted it towards him, so that's a nice little upgrade. What I can imagine Boros thinking in that previous round is, alright, fine, if you aren't going to Molotov me out this position, I'll do it myself.
Yeah, if you aren't going to use utility, might as well give you a helping hand.
Yeah.
There is an imposter among us.
said that, George.
Yeah, man.
God.
Bogus?
I mean, when I said that last time on a broadcast, it was like a month ago. And even then I thought, that's a little bit of an old reference already. As surreal. Can't quite get more than one. But yeah, the Galileo recovers does at least work for that one, and at least keeps things even for Endpoint. But with the MP9, a CZ, and this AWP glass cannon rotating in, it is not going to be easy. I think it's now impossible. Never mind. Thomas with a first. There goes Just. And now Stories to Dodo. They have really good positions for this after plant though, so it's going to be super hard to flush them out. Never mind. They'll just give themselves up. Hello, officer. Yes, here is the contraband, and that is Endpoint finding 15 off the back of a force buy.
Yeah, all of a sudden they got a bit guilty about their terrorist activities and decided it's time to just give themselves in to the authorities, you know?
Do you have a license for that C4 explosive?
Obviously not. It's a license, not a licensed explosive, is it? Obviously not. I'll be taking that. Thank you very much. Don't have time to call the bomb squad. I'm just going to do it myself.
Yeah, I've seen movies.
I've seen movies. Cut the red wire, or is it the blue one?
It's one of the two. I'll figure it out as I go.
Yeah, 50-50 chance. I'll do a Harvey Dent and flip a coin. Well done. It's been a thoroughly entertaining game for all the wrong reasons so far. As Saw now find themselves up against the wall. Story had the best of games thus far and now desperately needs to try and get something going as he's going to try and make his way up the bathrooms area with the assistance of Stododo, who very quickly falls away from this one. Leaving it in a 5-on-4 in favour of the Endpoint side. Roman, Story, all getting bodied now as they move on into the site. I'm anticipating that Roman is going to get wrecked over towards B shortly with the rest of his team because it looks like a strong defense building over here for Endpoint, especially now they know where it's coming. Mighty Max just has to keep his head on the swivel. We've got lots of players to try and contend with all at once and can only get one of them, but Thomas is here in assistance. He's dropped the bomb right in front of him on bridge. Mutiris 1 versus 3. It is unlikely, but it is possible. He's found one already. Crucial is just prying around the corner a little bit too much, but not enough for Mutiris to finish him out. It is going to be Endpoint taking their map pick, 16-8. Overpass goes their way, Dan.